Artificial intelligence feeds on your data, which is part of you. If you know that you are paying for AI with parts of you and you approve of that, then that is a voluntary contract between you and the AI owners, and I have no interest in interfering. However, if AI is crunching parts of yourself without your approval or even without your knowledge, and you want to change that, then I have some ideas for you. Many people have their reasons to think that every technology, new or old, is bad in some way for everybody. So naturally, some people would think that AI is inherently bad. I do not subscribe to that idea. I think technology is just technology, and people do bad things or good things with it. While some people can do and will do bad things with AI, you can use AI to do good in the world for yourself, your family, and everybody around you. Before you can do anything good with AI, you need to establish control over it. You need to own it. You can do that now because AI is still in early evolution, which makes many AI resources available for everybody for research and education. This is a rare opportunity for people who want to do good with AI, so let's try to seize it. Let's try to own our own AI. Owning your own AI requires running it on your devices. If you use Windows, then you have agreed to its terms of service, which includes feeding Microsoft your own personal private usage data, which is part of you. I cannot make sense of trying to own the AI without really owning the operating system it runs on. There are tools that can stop Microsoft from feeding on your data, which is part of you. And I would not touch Windows without these tools. My readers who want to own their own AI prefer not to own their own computers, and requested explicitly that I show them how to own their own AI running on Windows computers. So here are some tools. Ollama is an open source project by Meta, the company that previously bought a VPN service and used it to spy on everything their users did on their computers and phones. I guess if you want to run AI on Windows, you might be okay to run Ollama. I have reviewed the code of Ollama, and although I did not find any reason to suspect it for spying, right now, I do not trust the binary that Ollama ships. This binary is built by Meta on a platform owned by Microsoft, so it's up to you to trust it or no. If you trust it, then it is a simple download and everybody can install it. Once you have downloaded and installed Ollama on your Windows computer, it will run and stay running until you close it. This default behavior is suspicious to me because you never know whether or when Meta will update their code to push some new espionage tool that will devour all your data, which is part of you. So if you decide to run Ollama, be careful with what it does. Ollama is a tool that runs inference on AI models. So Ollama is not an AI. It is basically what makes the AI produce results. Ollama helps you use and download models, and you can use it with models from many of the big players in AI. For example, you can open a command prompt on your Windows computer and type Ollama pull Gemma. This will make Ollama pull the latest version of Gemma, the open model by Google DeepMind team. Yes, Google, the company that makes most of its money by monetizing the information it has collected and is still collecting from you, which is part of you. It is up to you to trust a Google trained AI. If you don't, then Ollama has many other options. There is a Chinese model Qwen produced by Alibaba AI, and you can download it with the command Ollama pull Qwen, Qwen. Ollama's model library has many other options, and I would advise you to get as many models as you can for now, because this is cost free right now. And you can use most of them for learning and research as much as you want. Once you have at least one AI model, you can start interacting with it using Ollama directly in the command line by issuing the command Ollama run with the model name. For example, Ollama run Mistral, and asking a question like, does Wikipedia have any wrong information? Depending on your computer, you might get a fast answer or a slow and boring answer. If you have a powerful graphics card with 12 GB of dedicated video graphics memory and you have installed the latest drivers, then you should get fast results. Without a graphics card, the response speed will vary depending on the question and the answer. You can chat with any Ollama model using the command line interface. However, If you prefer a graphical user interface and you are not a programmer, then the options are very limited. In my tests, there was an app that stands out. This app is not open source. It is not clear to me who is building it. Its website does not have neither contact info nor an about page. And there is a mention of a company on its website, but the name of the company appears to be a social engineering trick to fool some people to think that this was an Apache Foundation project. Although I tested the app myself, I would not link to it here. And if you find the app I'm talking about, I would advise you not to trust it. If you are daring enough to own an AI, then you might want to unleash it on some of your own data. For example, you might ask it to ingest a book and answer questions about it. In that case, you can try Anything LLM. That is an open source tool that lets you use AI models to do something useful. With Anything LLM, you can feed your own AI your own data and then use its language ability to dissect the data and give you summaries, answer your questions, or challenge you with a test about the data. Anything LLM is terribly slow and its interface is ugly. However, you can configure it not to send your usage information to its developers. I tested it and I could not find any trace of external communication while using the app as of now. There are more than 20 custom interfaces for Ollama, but I think they are not usable by non-developers. Some of them require a tool called Docker, and that tool requires changes to the BIOS and additional software components of Windows to be installed. Other tools require programming language like Python or Node.js, and some of them require changing environment variables or running a web server on your computer. I find the majority of the Ollama interfaces needlessly complicated for an end user. They are probably built by developers like me for developers like me, not for end users. I advised you to be careful with Ollama, and now I want to stress one important distinction. Ollama is open source right now, but its real AI, the models, are not open source. They are open, and most of them are free for education and research purposes. And if you want to use them, you must follow their usage agreements. This distinction is important because those who created the real AI don't want to show you how they do it. They want you to use it and tell them what you think. Or in some cases, they want you to pay for giving them your personal data, which is part of you, while using their AI tools so that they improve their tools to know you better. Some people, including myself, would like to contribute back when they get some value. I believe in good, and that is how I express my belief in the tech world. You might be different, and I totally respect that. But if you want, you can contribute without feeding AI your personal data. Just using and comparing AI models is a contribution, and voluntary sharing your impression and experience is a big contribution back to the people who are building these tools. You can go further and improve the models. For example, you can feed a model the library of Dostoevsky and try to make it a literary expert on the subject. Then share your product. I am sure you can have better ideas or projects to contribute your way. You are free to use whatever operating system and tools you choose on your computer. However, I think that if you care about your own security and freedom, which are parts of you, you should not be using Windows at all. Windows imposes limitations on what you can do with your computer, and what you can do is part of you. Apple imposes even more limitations on its users, and both companies collect massive amounts of data about how you use your computer, which is part of you. Some Linux distributions collect some data about you, and some Linux tools also collect other data about how you use them. This data is part of you. It is normally sent to cloud storage where it can be fed to somebody else's AI or sold for a price or just stolen. It is not easy to do computing the right way, and it is not for everybody. It starts by caring about your personal data like you care about your personal money, tools, or belongings, which are not part of you. If you want to do computing the right way, please let me know, and I will do my best to help you to the maximum extent of my knowledge.